20 turn,
130 amp brushless ESC, 777
Spectrum
external receiver,
Highway 1 RC,
West-made build,
Lexan body,
Frank, the Tank, 2.2-inch Mudslinger tires. Welcome to the workshop here in TandemCTelevision Studios, and it is finally time to get back to work on CCG 2084. And that was a little dramatic, I apologize, but it is time to get back to work on CCG 2084, and we're going to start by working on Willy's Bar and Grill. This is where we left off before. About a year ago, I guess it was, that we kind of put the work on this series on a break just for a bit, but now it's time to get back to it. And to update those who are new to the channel, so Willy's Bar and Grill is, well, it's a bar and grill that's set in the CCG 2084 series that we're going to be doing, which is the overall setting is going to be a futuristic, apocalyptic, cyberpunk kind of world. That's why you can see all the graffiti and it's very dirty and that kind of thing. But what this establishment is going to be used for is the guys are going to be working in the garage. That's where they're going to be working on projects. So basically the series is going to be building projects in a future apocalyptic type garage. And then when they're done at the end of the day, a long day's work, they'll come over here to Willy's Bar and Grill, to grab a drink, grab something to eat. And then this is where they'll sit around and kind of talk about, what they've got to do the next day. And for us, what that means as far as the CCG 2084 series, it's a way of kind of giving an idea what's going to happen in the next episode. So that's what this establishment's going to be used for. But what I thought we would do, let's just take a real quick closer look at it, kind of where we're at with this, and then we'll actually get to work on it, do some work on it, and see what we got when we're done. So this is just the front fascia of what's going to be a bigger building. This is like when the trucks pull up for everybody to unload out of. It'll be right in front of this front fascia. This is what you're gonna see, and basically some of the highlights. So imagine everything's very dark and everything's lit with kind of just neon light, black light, red lights. Just neon lights. So that's what we have up here. Is we have obviously Willy's Bar and Grill's sign, which is not only done with glow-in-the-dark paint, but also neon around the outside. We've also got lighting along the bottom, which is not actually, this isn't wired up yet, so they're not lit up. We've got some lighting up underneath here so we can showcase different stuff here beside the wall, because this is also a venue for music, and we'll actually talk about that a little more here in a second. But I wanted to have a spot where we could, a little area where we could spotlight what's going on in the bar and grill, if we want to use that as a focal point of one of the episodes. So anyways, we have some lighting for that. Actually up top, which is where we left off working, was building a railing up here. This is all actually lit also. It's red lighting. Each one of the posts for the railing has red lighting in it, so that's going to be a bunch more lighting. And then also, I'm using a cell phone over here to do a digital signboard, which I like the idea. I think it's going to work good, but I think I'm going to scrap how I have it. Basically, I just 3D printed a frame for it and stuck it on the bill, and it literally just looks like that. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to rip this down, and we'll actually cut a hole into the building and kind of set the cell phone in there where it looks a little more built in. So we're still going to use the cell phone for it's going to be like a digital billboard. I think what we'll have is either advertising or who's playing at the bar kind of scrolling, this kind of stuff. Maybe some funny messages that are just kind of up there as the guys walk in, something you can see, something like that. But I'm going to redo how this is mounted here. I don't like how that looks. And then, of course, there's Willy. So Willy actually runs on an Arduino. I think I'm saying that correctly. A little Arduino board to make his head turn. So he's kind of, I guess, the mascot of the bar and grill. But anyways, that's basically what we've got so far, kind of this front fascia. Now, the idea is this is just the front fascia. The building itself is going to go it's going to be much, much, much taller. And up top here, like we were talking about, where there's this balcony, behind that is going to be what I think is going to be kind of a dance club, like that future apocalyptic. It's going to be, heavy techno kind of dance club with tons of lights coming out, that kind of thing, just to give that utopian kind of feel coming out of here. But then above that, so going way up this way, is going to be actually apartment living. I haven't decided yet. Maybe some of the guys, maybe there'll be a couple of guys that work at the garage will actually live up there. Maybe their roommates up there, something like that, to kind of tie that in. But the real point being is this, what we see right now is just a very small part of this actual building. And this building that we're going to put together is a very small part of the entire world that we're going to build. But let's stop talking about this. What I think I'm going to do is actually get some work done. So I think I'm going to rough in, like what I'm talking about, the rest of the building behind, I'm going to go ahead and get that boxed in, built in, and I think I'll kind of draw out, map out a little bit of what it's going to look like. So let me do that, and we'll be back just a second. I've got the entire building mocked in now. It's not glued up or nailed or anything like that yet, just in case I want to make some changes, but it is fully mocked in, so you can kind of take a look. We're doing it out of the same thing we built the fascia out of, which is 3/8 inch MDF. So this is all, what you're about to see is all 3/8 inch MDF. And this gives you a bit of a reference on size. In fact, I put one of our characters here on the balcony just to give a bit of reference in size. So you can see this, how tall that this building is actually going to be. And I don't know, hopefully you guys can see, I've actually started putting in some lines. So what you see here, this is actually the top of the upper floor of Willy's Bar and Grill. In other words, this is where the bands will be playing, and the dance club kind of scene will be right here. Think about the Mos Eisley bar from Star Wars, that kind of thing, except set in in an apocalyptic world. But that's the idea. Is this is where there'll be bands playing. There'll be maybe people thrown over balconies. Who knows what could happen up here? And then above, you can see I've drawn in. Hopefully you can see I drew in some lines here and some lines further up. This is 2 floors of what I was talking about, like apartment living, so that where people live above the bar, where people can live up here. And now also I want you to keep in mind when you're thinking about reference and size, we can see how this is kind of tall and skinny, and that's kind of how all the buildings are going to be. Remember, there's going to be another building over here, kind of the same way, and another over here is actually, if you remember right, is going to be an alleyway. We've got some stuff planned for this alleyway, which we'll get updated again on, but you can always check out the old updates for that. But there's going to be an alleyway and then more buildings over here. So this is going to be an entire street, right? So this is just one building on that street that we now have mocked in. So what I'm going to do now, I'm running out of time. I need to get this video edited up for you guys so you can have an update on Tuesday. But what I'll do off camera, I'm going to go ahead and start getting this built in. I'm going to start working in some of the windows and the glass and some of the details. If you have any ideas on details to go on the building up here, because I'm thinking we're going to have things like gutters and maybe window units. Keep in mind, when you give ideas down in the comment section about what you'd like to see as far as how the rest of Willy's Bar and Grill is built, or at least the building behind it is built, keep in mind that this is an apocalyptic world. Everything has to be built primarily from scavenged parts. So that's kind of how I want to make all the buildings look, including this one. So keep that in mind. Give me your ideas down in the comment section down below. And what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to move the camera down at road level. Down here, we'll take a look up, just like this is from the view we would actually be seeing during the series. And as we do that, I'm going to go ahead and get you guys, if you would, just hit that like button down below. It really does help with the algorithms, the YouTube algorithms. Unfortunately, that's how they work. Leave me those comments. Of course, hit that subscribe button. And the next time you're at your local watering hole, go hit up everybody that's ordering beer at the bar and say, hey, have you checked out TandemCTelevision Studios yet? Or at least the YouTube channel. Why don't you go subscribe to them also? And thanks for joining me. See you next time. Bye-bye.